Ciao, Kachno! Right. Souvenirs. Good morning, guys. Our last day in Lisbon is coming, and we're headed for Belém, which is like this famous quarter of Lisbon with the tower and the monastery. And our flight departs at 2 o'clock, so then we're headed back to the airport. So, let's go. So I sent some postcards to my sisters, and then we took the tram, which for some reason didn't get us to Belém, but it ended in this park house, so we had to get off here near the bridge, so we may take some few more pictures of it, and then we're heading that way, which is where Belém is, and yeah, we will visit the monastery, and then we will get to the tower, which is where we will finish our visit today, and then we'll head out back to the airport. Anyway, I hope you enjoy the last half day here, and yeah, let's take the bridge again. It's like, I love him. What you can see behind me is the Monument of Discoveries, which is like this large statue monument created to celebrate all the discoveries that famous Portuguese sailors did, like Vasco da Gama or Fernando de Magalhães. And yeah, I guess that Portuguese are really proud of the nation. There are lots of these monuments here around the city, so yeah, nice, right? Well, what you can see behind me is Jeronimos Monastery, one of the most famous landmarks here in Belém. When you are here, there is this pasteleria, the most famous one behind me. Across the street, you will find it next to the Starbucks, where you can get apparently the best pastel in the city. But it's usually crowded with tourists, and we don't have that much time anymore, so we are not going there. But on the other hand, I think that it's just the same everywhere. You cannot. But if you go there and try it, let me know if it's better than in the rest of the city. Anyway, let's check the monastery and move on. In case you want to go in, well, be prepared for another queue. I think it's like in every major tourist city, but here the queues are really incredible. So that's the monastery, and now we headed to the climax of our trip, and that's the Belém Tower, Torre de Belém. So I hope you are excited. So the Tower of Belém, oh here, it's like this UNESCO World Heritage List landmark. It used to be a port and a fortress for Lisbon during the time of the big naval discoveries, so it's quite an important part of the city and has been for quite some time. Now it's visited and important usually only for tourists. It's still pretty nice. Let's check it out closer. It's actually low tide now, but during the high tide this whole thing is basically on this little island surrounded by water everywhere, so pretty cool. It's a nice piece of architecture, right? Neogothic, I think? God knows. Probably, yeah. Looks nice. So guys, this is the end of our sightseeing tour. Yeah, now we will chill out for a bit, then we will have to catch the tram and metro back to the airport, and yeah, I will probably eat the bread that I still have from breakfast, and yeah, I will check with you again at the airport, and we will summarize the trip. So in the end I decided to take this spinach quiche instead of pastel, so let's try it. Very good. Welcome to Lisbon Airport. Just arrived. Our plane departs in like 2 hours. The security check was actually kind of a pain in the ass. Well, they had to check my bag. Apparently I looked like a smuggler or something. Anyway, here we are in the duty-free zone. We'll probably buy some beer from my father. And well, yeah, let's wait for our flight. So we found quite a place here at one of the gates. There is a nice view of the airplane here and the window. Yeah, I bought my beers for father, Superbock. And now we're just waiting. I will catch with you when I get home or when I get to Prague and summarize this trip somehow whatsoever. Okay? See you. This trip to Lisbon was one of the most amazing things, one of the most amazing trips I have taken in quite some time. I loved it. Like, there were not some particular landmarks that I enjoyed the most, but the city overall and all the side trips that we had were so amazing, and Portuguese people are super friendly, and I have to admit I'm quite glad that I practice my Portuguese. Peace out, have a great night, bye bye.